Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki Jai Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Namo Vishsadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Dear devotees, welcome to today's Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat reading. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat Antya Khanda. And so this is the chapter regarding, one second. This chapter, it's chapter 5 entitled Nityananda Charita Varnana. So, so far we saw how Mahaprabhu inspired Nityananda Prabhu to preach in Bengal, and Nityananda Prabhu, after traveling with his associates, the 12 Gopals, arrives in Raghav Pandit's home. And we saw yesterday how Nityananda Prabhu had a desire to dance, and then immediately a whole kirtan party assembled around him, and there was a wonderful kirtan, and Nityananda Prabhu danced, and he was experiencing ecstasy, and he just in that ecstasy he would roar and even fall down, and whoever he glanced upon would also keep dancing and dancing and dancing and would fall down. Finally, after dancing like this, Nityananda Prabhu went and sat on the throne of the deity and indicated to the devotees to perform his abhishek. So they brought thousands of pots of Ganga water. This is all in Raghav Pandit's home in Panihati. They brought thousands of pots of Ganga water, mixed it with various fragrant substances, and then performed Abhishek of Nityananda Prabhu. While this was going on, all devotees were performing kirtan and in ecstasy witnessing this Abhishek of Nityananda Prabhu. And after that, after the Abhishek was performed, the Lord's body was dried and new clothes were put on, garments were offered, and sandalwood pulp was applied on his body. and many tulsi garlands were placed around his neck. And then they performed Aarti of Nityananda Prabhu. At that time, uh, everyone was in great ecstasy. Nobody was in external consciousness. Then Nityananda Prabhu asked for a garland of kadamba flowers. He said that I'm very fond of kadamba, so I want a garland of kadamba flowers. And Raghav Pandit said, my lord, this is not the season for kadamba flowers. And Nityananda Prabhu said, no, just go to your garden. Maybe you'll find there may be some flowers. Just go and look. So Raghav Pandit just went and he was amazed. In great wonder, he saw in his garden backyard there was a lime tree, and on that lime tree were so many wonderful fragrant kadamba flowers in full bloom. And simply by looking at those flowers and smelling their fragrance, one would break all his material bondages, and he would be he would become liberated. He would transcend this material world, break all his material bondage. Quickly Raghav Pandit picked all those flowers, uh, strung them into a garland, and offered it to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu with great pleasure wore it. And then everyone was amazed to see this kadamba flowers. And then another wonder took place. All of a sudden, everyone was smelling Damanaka flowers. And it was so powerful. The whole house was filled with the fragrance of Damanaka flowers. They didn't even see any Damanaka flowers around. You see, Damanaka flowers only grow in Jagannath Puri. Now they were in West Bengal. There were no Damanaka trees there, no Damanaka flowers. Then Nityananda Prabhu asked, what is that fragrance? And then the devotee said, that's the fragrance of Damanaka flowers. We don't know where it's coming from. It's filling the whole house. And Nityananda Prabhu said, he revealed a secret to the devotees. And Nityananda Prabhu said, listening, hearing your ecstatic kirtan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had come from Jagannath Puri, and he appeared here in the form of a tree. And his every limb is fragrant, as fragrant as the Damanaka garland. Of course, it's also, that Mahaprabhu was wearing the garland of Damanaka flowers as he was coming from Jagannath Puri. And so that is why you are all smelling this Damanaka flowers. So let's continue reading from there today, what happened after that. Whoever received Lord Nityananda's, okay, so after this, when Nityananda Prabhu revealed this to everyone, uh, uh-huh. Nityananda Prabhu, actually, it didn't stop at that. That's right. So then when Nityananda Prabhu said this, he gave everyone, he revealed this secret that Mahaprabhu had come. And then he said, the Lord has come to, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come from Jagannath Puri to see you sing and dance. So therefore, everyone, please chant Krishna's names. Mahaprabhu has come here to see you all sing and dance. So you should all just forget yourselves, forget your bodies, your families and everything. Just chant Krishna's name. And then Nityananda Prabhu gave a blessing that may all your bodies be filled with the glories of Sri Krishna Chaitanya, and your hearts may be filled with love for Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then he roared, Hari! And then he cast his glance of love on everyone. And by that glance, everyone forgot their own body, their own self. And then Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying to all the listeners, please listen to the power of Nityananda Prabhu. By his power, he is giving the love that the gopis felt in their hearts for Krishna. He's bestowing that love in this world. He gave pure devotional service. Nityananda Prabhu gave pure devotional service in this world. It is because of Nityananda Prabhu that the whole world attained the same love that the gopis experienced. So then Nityananda Prabhu was sitting on the throne and everyone else was dancing in kirtan in ecstasy because they got the glance of Nityananda Prabhu. And how were they dancing? They were not in external consciousness. They would climb on trees and go to the tips of the smallest twigs, and still they would not fall, and they would be dancing. They would be jumping off. They would be roaring, calling out, "Hari, Hari," like this. And some of them were uprooting big, big trees or even betel nut trees, right? 7 of them at once. Like this, by the power of this ecstatic love, they were doing all these wonderful things like uprooting big powerful trees which they would not ordinarily not be able to do, but on this occasion, by the great power of Nityananda Prabhu's ecstatic love, they were able to do all these wonderful things. And not only that, all these devotees who were dancing, you could see all ecstatic symptoms on their bodies, all the symptoms at a time, like tears, trembling of the body, being stunned, perspiration, standing up of bodily hairs, thundering, speaking with choked voice, turning pale, roaring, fainting, like this. All symptoms, ecstatic symptoms, were manifest in the bodies of devotees. I'll continue reading from there. In whatever direction glorious Lord Nityananda glanced, a great shower of ecstatic spiritual love fell. Whoever received Lord Nityananda's glance fainted in ecstatic love. No longer keeping his clothes, he fell to the ground and rolled here and there. The effect of Nityananda Prabhu's glance was that the person, would just faint, and then he would not even be aware whether his clothes were on his body or not, and he would be rolling on the body. He ran to embrace Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda sat on the deity's throne and smiled. In this way, Lord Nityananda's foremost associates became resting places of all the Lord's powers. The Lord's power was resting in the foremost associates of Nityananda Prabhu. They had all these ecstatic manifestations, which is the power of Nityananda Prabhu's devotion. So they were the reservoirs of Lord Nityananda Prabhu's love, of his power, of his ecstasies. They were the resting places of the Lord's powers. The devotees became all-knowing and perfect in eloquent speech. Their bodies became handsome like Kamadev. So when you receive Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, like we say, Mukam karoti vachalan pangum langhayate girim yat kripa tamaham vande Sri Gurum Dinatarinam. When you get the kripa, the mercy of Guru, then even a mute person who cannot speak will start speaking eloquently, very eloquently. What to speak of simply speaking? He will make very eloquent poetry. He'll speak very eloquent poetry. Pangum langhayate girim, a lame person who cannot even walk or stand, he will start climbing big, big mountains, crossing big mountains. How? Simply by the mercy of the spiritual master. Nityananda Prabhu is the original spiritual master. He is the spiritual master of all the spiritual masters in the entire creation. So, by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, anyone who receives the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, he will become all-knowing. He will become perfect in eloquent speech, not by their power, but by the power of Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, right? Again, like somebody going on a bicycle, when he holds on to a truck, now he starts moving at the speed of the truck, even though he's on the bicycle, like that. So as soon as you receive the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, now that power just elevates you. And now you become very eloquent. You become all knowing. And your bodies become very handsome, very beautiful. by the power of Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. So the devotees became all-knowing, perfect in eloquent speech. Their bodies became handsome like Kamadev. Whoever was touched by the hand of any of these great devotees. And then this is like a, you know, uh, uh, oh, it's not just restricted to the person who receives the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. Now, anyone who comes in touch with these devotees who receive Nityananda Prabhu's, they also get this, like an electric shock, right? Right? If somebody gets an electric shock and you go touch that person, you also get it. And anyone else touches you, then that person gets it, like that. So whoever was touched by the hand of any of these great devotees, forgot everything and became overwhelmed with ecstatic love. That means this love just got transmitted from one person to the next. In this way, for 3 months at Panihati Gram, Lord Nityananda enjoyed pastimes of devotional service. So how long did Nityananda Prabhu stay in Panihati? Nityananda Prabhu stayed there for 3 months and he enjoyed pastimes of devotional service. For 3 months, external consciousness was not present in anybody. So all these devotees, where Nityananda Prabhu was present, what were they doing? They were always performing kirtan, dancing day and night. Day and night. No eating, sleeping. Simply dancing in kirtan, in ecstasy. They were not even aware of this external world. 3 continuous months, external consciousness was not present in anybody. Nobody had any external consciousness of this. Oh, we have a home and we have children and I have to. Nothing. 3 months. No one had even half a sesame seed's worth of concern for his body. How? Remember, Nityananda Prabhu said, forget yourselves and chant Krishna. So by the Lord's desire, when he just said that, they were empowered automatically. Immediately they were empowered. So they were not aware of anything now. They forgot their own bodies. They forgot themselves. For 3 months, no one ate. Everyone only danced in ecstatic love. They did nothing else. In the future, the four Vedas will describe all these pastimes of ecstatic love in Panihati Gram. Who has the power to describe all these pastimes of Lord Nityananda? Who has the power to describe all the pastimes Lord Nityananda enjoyed in even half an hour? He performed pastimes for 3 continuous months in Panihati. And of course, this is in Panihati. Wherever Nityananda Prabhu is, he's constantly performing pastimes. But in Panihati, he stayed for 3 continuous months performing kirtan. What to speak of describing all the pastimes he performed in 3 months? Nobody can even describe all the pastimes that Nityananda Prabhu performs in half an hour. Moment after moment, his companions around him in the four directions. Moment after moment, with his companions around him in the four directions, Lord Nityananda joyfully danced. Sometimes Lord Nityananda would sit in a virasana posture and have the devotees dance one by one. So he was continuously dancing. Sometimes he would sit down and he would have his devotees come and dance one by one. So in Kirtan, sometimes we do, right? The devotees form a circle and each person comes in the center, dances and goes away, then the next person comes. So Nityananda Prabhu would sit down in a virasana posture and then he would have each devotee come and dance one by one. Flooded with the nectar of ecstatic love, everyone in the four directions watched as one devotee joyfully danced. And what was it? When that devotee was dancing, he was in ecstasy. What was the condition of everyone else who was looking at that devotee? They were all flooded, not that, drenched. They were drowned, flooded with what? With the nectar of ecstatic love. And they would just see this devotee dancing. Everyone else, all the other devotees in the four directions would just watch as this devotee joyfully danced. Overcome with ecstatic love, everyone collapsed. They fell like a forest of banana trees in a hurricane. So banana trees are very delicate, isn't it? You can just, You can, even a child can just chop and the whole tree will fall off. Or when there is a wind, right? It can just uproot the banana tree. And what to speak of when there is a hurricane, if there's a whole, garden of banana trees, orchard of banana trees, they will all fall down like that. So, in this way, because of this ecstatic love of Nityananda Prabhu, all the devotees, one devotee would come and dance, and they would be in so much ecstasy, they couldn't contain it. They would all just collapse down like a forest of banana trees in a hurricane. The devotees did whatever Lord Nityananda commanded. Accompanied by the devotees, Lord Nityananda sang kirtans, glorifying Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya. What did Nityananda Prabhu do? He sang kirtans, glorifying Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya. He was dancing, he was singing, he was having devotees dance. Whoever came to this wonderful display of divine love became wild and ecstatic. Yeah, if anybody came there, you could not be not affected, right? Anyone who came there, he would just become wild and ecstatic. Whatever in their hearts the devotees desired at once came to them. Another thing, if they had any desire in their heart, immediately that was fulfilled. Joyfully tasting the nectar of spiritual love, everyone felt the time pass like a single moment. 3 months passed, but it appeared like just one moment because they were in so much ecstasy. They did not know that 3 months had passed. One day, in his heart, Lord Nityananda desired many ornaments. Earlier, Nityananda Prabhu desired to dance. So, all this happened. Kirtan party came and they had Kirtan for 3 months. Then one day, Nityananda Prabhu just desired to wear many ornaments. Simply by his desire, many ornaments at once were placed before him, placing before Lord Nityananda many beautiful ornaments of gold, silver, emeralds, many different kinds of priceless jewels and coral, and also many kinds of silk cloth and pearl necklaces. The saintly devotees bowed down. So they brought all these. He didn't ask, Nityananda Prabhu didn't ask, he just had a desire. And simply by his desire, everyone was inspired within his heart to bring all these beautiful ornaments, jewelry, clothes, right? Jewels in front of Nityananda Prabhu. And they placed and they bowed down before the Lord. How many ornaments were there? How gloriously and beautifully were they designed? Whatever ornaments the Lord desired were given to him. To his heart's desire, Lord Nityananda decorated his arms and wrists with golden armlets and bracelets. He placed rings of gold and jewels on his 10 fingers, right? All 10 fingers had finger rings that were made of jewels and gold. On his neck, he placed many different beautiful glistening necklaces of jewels, pearls, coral, and other things. To please Lord Shiva, he placed on his neck 2 golden and silver necklaces with Rudraksha and Vidalaksha. So these are the beads that are dear to Lord Shiva, Rudraksha beads. So to please Lord Shiva, who is Lord Shiva? Lord Shiva, we read in the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, right, the different varshas. So Ilavrita Varsha, where Lord Shiva is the the deity there. Deity, he's the main person, devotee. And who is he meditating on? On Lord Sankarshan. Who is Lord Sankarshan? Expansion of Lord Balaram. Balaram is Nityananda Prabhu. So Lord Shiva is a great devotee of the Ishtadev, the worshipable deity of Lord Shiva is Lord Sankarshan. He's always meditating on Lord Sankarshan. And also, the annihilation of this universe is caused by whom? By Lord Anantasesh, right? There's fire coming out from his mouth, from the bottom of the universe, and on top, Lord Shiva is dancing, Rudra, right? The dance of annihilation. So, like that. So, Lord Shiva's worshipable deity is Lord Anantasesh. So here, Lord Balaram, who is the source of Lord Sankarshan, and also of Lord Shiva. So he, um, to please Lord Shiva, wore two necklaces, two golden and silver necklaces with Rudraksha and Vidalaksha. On his ears, he placed very beautiful earrings of gold and pearls, earrings made of gold and pearls. On his lotus feet, he placed silver anklets. Yeah, pay attention here. Sometimes devotees say golden anklets. No, silver. Ankle bells are silver. On his lotus feet, he placed silver anklets, and above them, he placed a mala ornament that charmed the worlds. That means garland, right? Flower ornament on his lotus feet. Like you see on the deities, if you see Radha Madhav's decoration, even Panchatattva decorations, they have jewels, right? They have bracelets and all that made with jewels, beads, but also they will have with flowers, right? Bracelets and anklets are made with flowers, like a garland, like a wreath. So on his lotus feet he placed silver anklets, and above them he placed a mala ornament that charmed the worlds. Though he wore different kinds of white, yellow, and blue silk cloth. White, yellow, and blue silk cloth. In this way he was decorated with wonderful grace. Garlands of malati, mallika, yuthi, and champaka flowers playfully moved to and fro on his graceful chest. Not one garland, many garlands, right? Garlands of malati, mallika, yuthi, and champaka. His graceful limbs were decorated with wonderful pictures and designs drawn in splendid and fragrant sandal paste mixed with gorochana. So you see, so deity worship, when you do deity worship, especially here in Mayapur, you see the Panchatattva deities and Radha Madhav deities and Nrsimhadev, they're all decorated exactly like this. Many different garlands of different flowers, champaka flowers, mallika flowers, malati flowers, yuthi flowers, whatever flowers are available, different garlands, and also paintings. You have this, what you call gopi dots, right? Various wonderful pictures and designs drawn on the forehead, on the hand, on the lotus feet, like that. Beautiful paintings, designs, and drawn with what? With fragrant sandal paste mixed with gorochana. His graceful head was decorated with a turban of various colors. Above the turban was a splendid and graceful garland of different colored flowers. So here we also see, especially Nityananda Prabhu's turban, others also, but in the Panchatattva, you see his turban is decorated not only with many flowers but also with fruits. When you take a darshan of Nityananda Prabhu's face, his turban, you will see there's apples, there's bananas, there's grapes, different types of fruits that are available in the season. Very, very beautiful. So his graceful head was decorated with a turban of various colors. Above the turban was a splendid and graceful garland of different colored flowers. His graceful and cheerful face defeated millions of moons. Smiling, he always chanted the names of Lord Hari. So, or this is the decoration of all the ornaments and the flowers and the designs, right? But he was very, very cheerful, very, very pleasing, that his charm would defeat the charm of millions of moons put together. And he was smiling, always chanting the names of Lord Hari. In whatever direction Lord Nityananda's two lotus eyes glanced, a great shower of ecstatic spiritual love fell on everyone. That's why devotees desire for just a glance from Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Simply, if you can receive a glance from the two lotus eyes of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, then your life is perfect. You get the love, right? You are injected with love of Godhead simply by his when he casts his glance on you. In whatever direction Lord Nityananda's two lotus eyes glanced, a great shower of ecstatic spiritual love fell on everyone. Simply in that direction, not at that person. If there's a few people standing in one direction, if Nityananda Prabhu glanced in that direction, all the people in that direction were surcharged with love of Godhead. In two directions, the Lord held two iron rods glistening like silver and inlaid with gold. So the Lord is carrying two iron rods that glisten like silver, inlaid with gold. The Lord always held those two iron rods as if they were his mace and plow. Lord Balaram's weapons are the mace and the plow. Plow is for, you know, plowing the field, but yeah, that's his tool, as well as he carried a mace. So Nityananda Prabhu carried two iron rods, which were actually in the mood of carrying plow and mace. The Lord's associates decorated themselves with armlets. So all the jewelry and all the ornaments that were brought, the Lord decorated, and then there was so many more. So his associates also decorated themselves because they're all friends, cowherd boys, isn't it? They also decorated themselves with armlets, bracelets, malla ornaments, anklets, necklaces, horn bugles, flutes, sticks, rope, and gunja necklaces. These devotees were all Amsha and Kala incarnations of cowherd boys. Then Lord Nityananda enjoyed blissful pastimes with his companions. Accompanied by his companions, Lord Nityananda then visited one by one the homes of the devotees. So in this way, after they were in Raghav Pandit's home, and this whole pastime of kirtan happened for 3 months. Yes, and then Nityananda Prabhu one day decided, I want to wear ornaments, and they all came, and then everyone dressed up nicely, and then Nityananda Prabhu along with his associates started to visit the devotees' homes in Panihati one by one. Effulgent Lord Nityananda walked to all the villages on both sides of the Ganga, not just in Panihati, but the neighboring villages, not all the villages, not just a few, but all the villages that were on both sides of the Ganga. Simply by seeing Lord Nityananda, every living entity felt enchanted, manifest in two ways, in the way of his own form and in the way of his holy name. Lord Nityananda was sweet like nectar. Either seeing him or just hearing his name, right? People will become enchanted by the love of Nityananda Prabhu. So it was his name and his form were very sweet like nectar. Seeing Lord Nityananda, even the blasphemers offered prayers to him. This is the quality of the pure devotees of the Lord. About the 6 Goswamis, it is said, Dhira Dhira Jana Priyau Priyakarau Nirmatsarau Pujito. Dhira and Adhira, both those who are Dhira, devotees, and those who are Raffians, who are not gentle, barbarous people. Everyone find the pure devotees of the Lord, especially speaking of the 6 Goswamis, everyone was attracted to them. Why? Because they carry the love of Nityananda Prabhu. So Nityananda Prabhu was attractive to everyone, not just to the devotees, even to the blasphemers, those who are offenders. But when they saw Nityananda Prabhu, they were also charmed, they were enchanted, and they started offering prayers to Nityananda Prabhu and yearned in their hearts to offer all they possessed to him. They wanted to just give everything that they had to Nityananda Prabhu. Lord Nityananda, his glorious form, sweet and charming, placed merciful glances on everyone. Whether he ate, slept, or walked, he did not waste a moment, spending it without performing Sankirtan. Nityananda Prabhu, he wouldn't waste a single moment without doing Sankirtan. Even when he was sleeping, he would be doing Sankirtan. Then what to speak of when he's walking? Even when he's eating, he would be doing Sankirtan. He would not waste a single moment without performing Sankirtan. When Lord Nityananda danced in the Sankirtan of Lord Krishna's holy names, many, many people went wild, overcome with ecstasy. Small children who did not know anything uprooted big, big trees. This is one trademark of Nityananda Prabhu's kirtans, that even small children, like devotees, they would just, the thing is, they would not be in external consciousness. They were surcharged with the power of Nityananda Prabhu, with the love of Nityananda Prabhu. So they would start uprooting big, big trees. Not just big devotees, even small children, they would start uprooting big, big trees by the power of Nityananda Prabhu's love. Loudly roaring, they uprooted trees and threw them about, shouting, I am a cowherd boy. They ran here and there. So great was the power in those small children that even 100 men could not catch them and hold them still. 100 big grown up men could not hold a small child in one place still. Why? Again, this child was moving by the power of Nityananda Prabhu's love. Who can control Lord Nityananda Prabhu's power? So they were uprooting big, big trees and running here and there, saying that I am a cowherd boy, chanting Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda. The children joyfully roared like lions. Okay, so we will have to stop here today. We will continue next next Saturday.